Hi, today we will learn Dutch or Netherlands. About these words we are continuing from the previous video, and this time we will learn about this word in English, trunk. We will learn about this word in Dutch or in Netherlands. Because it's interesting, this trunk is large traveling chest, but I cannot find any translation in other language for this trunk, so I will just put it like this. I cannot find translation of this trunk in Dutch or in Indonesian language, so I will just put it like this. At least it has one meaning. That's kind of like suitcase but bigger, mostly for fashion designer or in the old time, in maybe Titanic era or so. I don't know. It's kind of like large traveling chest. This word trunk, it has at least 4 meanings, and I found out it's also as trunk or car trunk. We already learned about this in the previous video. In Dutch is kofferbak. One word, kofferbak. Even though it's from koffer, suitcase, and bak, container or box to put something inside. And that's the second meaning. The third one is for tree. In Dutch, boomstam. It's from 2 words, boom, tree, stam, the trunk itself. So you want to make sure it's from the tree, so you say boomstam, one word. And the last translation for this word trunk, or the trunk of the human body, or torso, in Dutch is romp. Thank you. Hi, today we will learn Indonesian language or bahasa Indonesia. About several words here. This is part 2 from the previous video. And now we will go to this part about this one. Before, I always made mistake because I used this word for translating this one. That is wrong. But what can I say? I learned from my mistake, so now I will just share a bit. Before, whenever I want to say luggage, I keep saying that with this one, even though the perfect one should be this one. Yeah. Koper, suitcase. Why? Because in English, you count this one as an uncountable noun. In Indonesia, this is countable noun because this is suitcase. But before, I did mistake because I always put S behind this word because I translate this one as this one, but it's wrong. Even though when you say this one, it might also in this formation or form, but the perfect translation is this one. This word, koper, is originated from Dutch koffer. In Indonesia, it becomes koper. In English, suitcase. And in English, you also have trunk, which is large traveling chest, But to be honest, I cannot find any translation in other language. One of it is Indonesian, so I will just write it here because I have no option. I will just write it here. Trunk, large traveling chest. Interesting thing, this word, it has at least 4 meanings. If you translate it into other language, now the Indonesian version from this word. Even though the first one I can't find a really good, at least one single word for it, I will just leave it like this in English. Okay, the second one for this one is car trunk or trunk, which in Indonesia is bagasi, or if you want to be more specific, you add the car. Bagasi, mobil. In English, you put the car first, and then you put the trunk. In Indonesia, you put trunk, and then you put car. That's the difference in how you arrange words in your phrase. And then you also have trunk, or we have trunk. Why I keep saying you? It becomes kind of like my language too. Trunk. Yeah, I still learn, I know. Trunk is also for tree, part of the tree. So in Indonesian language, we say it as batang. Trunk, batang. If you want to be more specific, say that it's from a tree, you add tree. Pohon. Even though when you say batang, it's kind of, people already know that you're a bit talking about part of the tree. But if you want to be more specific, just add the word tree after you use this one. But still in 2 words. Batang, pohon. And now, the trunk of the human body or trunk in Indonesian language, even though I can say that we rarely use this phrase, but it's not wrong, and this is what is written in the Indonesian dictionary or the KBBI, the one that I always talk in my videos, the Great Dictionary of Indonesian Language, KBBI. Batang, tubuh. Tubuh is body. Batang, tubuh, trunk. In English, we have torso, torso. In Indonesia, we also use the word torso, but it becomes torso because the R in English is R, in Indonesia is R. Torso, torso. We use this word. Then I check the dictionary that if you use only this word, torso, the definition is patung, batang, tubuh. The batang tubuh is torso, but there's one word in front of these 2 words, patung. It means statue. So, when you use only torso, it means statue of trunk, of the human body, statue. Even though we use this word for torso, but I check the dictionary, it's more into statue. So, if you want to make sure But we use this just, I think lots of people, when we use this one, we already kind of get the idea that it's not statue, but in the dictionary it's stated it's statue. Daily, every day, or in conversation or in article or so, you will find this word, even though it's not mentioned for saying that it's statue. But if you want to make sure, just add another word that I kind of think might help a bit to make sure that it's not statue. But yeah, that's the dictionary, but every day, just this one is already considered as human, not statue one. You add the two words, which are tubuh or badan. Both are formal Indonesian words. It means body, but this one is more formal than this one. Both formal. If you want to say it in more formal, use this word, tubuh. Or use badan, also formal. Manusia, human. Torso, tubuh, or badan manusia. Thank you.